Hello, my name is Gabriella, and today I will be bringing you through a beginner's yoga flow. We'll go ahead and get started in a seated positioning, whatever's comfortable for you, either crisscross applesauce, or you can bring the top leg into a half lotus. And if you're feeling a little bit more, you can try to bring the top leg to a full lotus. From this position, try to sit up nice and tall. Hands can come to the knees. Take a deep breath, inhale through the nose. Exhale, sighing out the breath. Inhale. Try to feel the breath ride all the way from the base of the pelvis, up through the midline, up through the chest, through the diaphragm, all the way up through the neck, through the head. And then as you exhale, feel that breath release through the body, either out through the nose, or the lips, or the throat. Inhale, find that expansion through the lungs, gently having the rib cage expand outwards, backwards. And as you exhale, feel the gentle pull of the belly button into the spine. At the bottom of your exhale, try to blow all the air out of the belly, out of the chest. You should feel tiny lift of the base of the pelvic muscles up and in towards the midline. One more big deep breath. And exhale, sigh it out. Gently opening the eyes, reaching the arms up and overhead, gazing towards the fingertips. And then exhale, one hand down to the ground, gazing up and over the top hand. Big side body stretch. You can come down to the elbow and lengthen through the armpit, through the side of the torso, even into the hip. Try to ground through the bottom hip. Exhale, releasing the top arm back down to the ground, reaching fingers forward. And then crawling your way to the midline. Big deep breath here. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, sit nice and heavy. Inhale, reaching over to the other side. High basal. Grounding the opposite arm down to the ground, reaching the top arm up towards the ceiling, gazing towards the fingertips. And again, dropping down to the elbow for a little bit more of a side body stretch. Good. Inhale, reach back through center. Palms can reach down behind you. We're going to drop the ear towards the shoulder. The opposite arm, aside from the side that you're reaching towards, is going to lengthen. We're going to open up through the neck, through the chest. You can gaze up towards the ceiling and then gaze back down. And then switch sides. Other ear to other shoulder, reaching the opposite arm outwards. Gazing up and gazing down. Good. Exhale, both hands behind the head. We're going to bend the elbows and roll the spine inward. Inhale, extend, gazing upward, opening the chest. Exhale in. Inhale up. Two more just like this. Exhale in. Inhale up. Exhale in. And inhale up. Good. Big breath. Reach the arms out. Cactus them nice and wide. Inhale, arms reach up, gaze upward. And then exhale, coming into tabletop position. Going through a few cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze up at the ceiling. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, belly drops, gaze up. Exhale. As you exhale here, you can come onto your fingertips, lengthening through the back. Try to really round from the base of the neck down to the tailbone. Inhale, belly drops, gaze up. Bring your gaze over one shoulder towards your tailbone. And then back through center and over to the opposite side. Good. One more breath each side. Inhale through center. And exhale to the opposite side. Good. From here, bring the knees a little bit wider, toes to touch, sitting the tailbone back towards the heels, child's pose. Forearms reach long, fingers towards the ground. Inhale, rolling forward, drop the belly down to the mat. Allow the knees to bend and lift the spine up towards the ceiling. And exhale, sit heavy, transitioning forward and back through child's pose and swan pose. Exhale as you sit heavy into the hips. And inhale as you roll forward. Chin and chest lift. Bring the gaze or your drishti up towards the ceiling. Exhale one more time, sitting heavy into child's pose. You can stay here with the knees nice and wide, or you can bring the knees together and sit down to focus a little bit more on the low back. One more big deep breath. Inhale, rolling forward into tabletop positioning, flipping the toes, pushing the hips nice and high for downward facing dog. While you're in down dog, the hands are planted firmly, fingertips reaching wide. You're like trying to push yourself away from the ground, nice and active through your down dog. It's okay if the knees are a little bent here, if your heels are a little bit raised. The key here is to really try to lift the tailbone high and bring your gaze down towards your belly button. You can gently try to pedal out the feet, bending one knee and extending the other, maybe shifting the hips side to side a little bit here. On your next inhale, gaze forward, gently bend the knees and walk your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back, halfway rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach up all the way to standing. And exhale, hands through heart center and resting by your side. Starting with some sun salutation A while we're in standing position. Inhale, arms reach up towards the ceiling, gazing up towards the fingertips. Exhale, forward fold, palms down to the mat. Inhale, flat back, halfway rise. Exhale, palms flat to the floor, stepping both feet back to a high plank. Holding here, trying to keep your tailbone tucked, belly nice and tight, bringing knees, chest, and chin down to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. We'll go for a little mini cobra here, actually. Bringing both hands down to the ground and just gently pressing up, giving your back a little warm up here. And then exhale, palms back down to the shoulders. Bending the knees, shifting back through downward facing dog. Again, while you're in down dog, tailbone reaches high, gently pushing, palms down and away. Big deep breath. Inhale, gazing forward, bend the knees, step to the top of the mat. Flat back, halfway rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, palms to reach all the way up and overhead. And exhale, hands through heart center. Going through sun salutation A one more time. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway rise. Exhale, stepping back to a high plank, low push-up. Always having the option to come down to the knees. Exhale, lowering all the way down. Inhale, full cobra. Coming through to the thighs. If you want a little bit more for upward dog, pushing through the palms and the tops of the feet to lift the thighs. And exhale, downward facing dog. Big deep breath. Bringing both feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, right leg rises high. Maybe bending the knee, opening through the hips, giving some big circles. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose and stepping the right foot all the way through for warrior one. Back foot lowers down to the ground, so foot nice and flat in the back leg. Inhale, arms reach up and overhead, gazing towards the fingertips. Trying to get a big bend in the top knee. It's squared forward. Inhale, open warrior two. gazing over the top fingertips. Inhale, both legs straighten out, gazing up, fingers to touch in the center. And then exhale back to warrior two. Inhale, arms to reach overhead, straighten out the top leg. And exhale, warrior two. Extended side angle, bring your right elbow to the right knee, left arm up and overhead, gazing up towards the fingertips. If this feels okay and you want to get a little bit deeper, you can bring the right palm down to the inner corner of the right leg, sinking the hips down, gazing up. Or maybe even bring the right hand to the outside of the right foot. Try to lift the chest bone high as you gaze up towards the fingertips. One more big deep breath here. Inhale, arms reach back to warrior two. And then square off to the side of the room, gazing up. Big five-pointed star. Feet are going to gently point out 45 degrees. Exhale, goddess pose. Deep into a big wide squat. Arms out to a goal post. Inhale, arms reach, five-pointed star. Exhale to goal post. One more big deep breath. Inhale, arms rise. And then exhale, forward fold. Feet face forward as you bring your hands down to the mat. Maybe give a little shift side to side here. Palms can stay in the center of the legs or reach forward. Try to dip the chest down to the ground. Or you can even pull them back behind you and pull yourself through to get a little deeper to the floor. Inhale, big bend in the top knee, walking your way over to the top of the mat. Right foot steps back to a high plank, bending the knees, lowering down, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, down dog. Always love doing down dog with your actual dog. Usually she does it with me, but can you do down dog? Down. Good enough. Okay, both feet together at the back of the mat. Inhale, left leg rises high. Go ahead and open up the hips. Let the knees swirl around. Get some motion to the hip joint. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through to warrior one. Back foot pivots flat. Inhale, arms rise overhead. Gazing up towards your fingertips. And then exhale, warrior two. Good, so I'm gonna go ahead and face the other direction, but we're doing on the left side now. In warrior two, sitting a little bit deeper. Inhale, arms rise, top leg straightens, reach the arms up towards the center, and exhale back to warrior two. Inhale, arms rise, gazing upward, and exhale, warrior two, last one. Inhale, rise, and exhale, lower, extended side angle, bringing the left elbow to the left knee, right arm up and overhead. Again, sinking the hips nice and heavy, chest up towards the ceiling. If you want to bring this down to the ground, left arm can lower down. Really sinking the hips low, gazing up towards the top fingertip. One more big deep breath. And then inhale, rise back to warrior two. Back through the five-pointed star, arms reach high. Exhale, goddess pose. This time sitting nice and heavy. Down, down. This time sitting nice and heavy into the hips. Knees can splay out wide. You can stay more active, hands to heart center, maybe raising up and down on your tippy toes, or you can make this a little bit more passive, sinking into the hips and just letting yourself rock side to side. Beautiful. Good. And relax, palms down to the ground, feet pivot forward, and allow yourself to fall nice and heavy into a forward fold. Okay, make your way down to the ground. You can walk your way back over to the left leg. Step the left foot all the way back, lowering down to a low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Bring your legs forward on your mat. Go ahead and lengthen the legs out, sitting up nice and tall. Gaze over the tips of the toes, reaching forward. Hands can reach either towards your shins, your ankles, or your tippy toes, maybe even interlacing your first two fingers and thumbs, around the big toe. From here, try not to round through the spine, really find length through the tailbone and sits bones, arching the back ever so slightly as you reach your gaze forward. Deep breaths here. One more big deep breath. Good. Inhale, go ahead and bend both knees. Letting both legs come out and bow. Mount width distance apart, hands behind you. And we're going to let the both knees rock over to one side and then over to the other side. Good. Finding stillness over towards one side. Doesn't matter what you start with. We'll be in this 90-90 hip position, sitting up nice and tall. And then exhale, forward fold over your top leg. Inhale back through center, and then gently turn your torso over towards the back leg. You should feel a big stretch through the hip, maybe going into a little bit more internal rotation here. Good. Hands behind you. Go ahead and switch to the opposite side, and then folding over the top leg. Inhale, coming back through center, and a little rotation over the backside. Hands reach back behind you, both knees bent, feet flat. Go ahead and lift the hips up for reverse tabletop. So hips rise, head back, squeezing through the glutes, opening through the chest and the heart. One more big deep breath. And exhale, lowering back down. Both feet straighten all the way out. Go ahead and bend the right knee. Right arm reaches behind you. Lift the left arm, cross it over for spinal twist. Reaching the gaze up and over the right leg and right shoulder. If this is a little too much, what you can do is hook your elbow with your knee and then gaze up and over. And you want to think of lifting the spine, lifting the gaze. Inhale back through center. Right leg reaches out to the side, sitting up nice and tall, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Going to reach the right out long, and then switch sides. Left knee pulls into chest, finding spinal twist over on the left side. All the way over with the elbow. Once you got that elbow hooked, gaze up and over. Lift the gaze, lift the spine. Big deep breaths. Good. Back through center, release the hand and let the leg flop out to the side. Tall spine, forward fold. Deep breathing with sound. Really connect with the breath here as we sit into these postures on the floor, allowing ourselves to be heavy in the hips. Inhale, rise. Both legs reaching out, using that core strength to lower you all the way down to the ground, rolling down segment by segment to the low back, setting up for bridge pose. And so once you're down to the ground, scoot yourself into a comfortable position, feet shoulder width apart, closing off the series with a few back bends. Inhale, hips rise to the ceiling. Belly pulls in just a little snug to keep a little core activation, pushing through the glutes, hips up to the ceiling. You can elevate this a little bit more by walking shoulders towards one another. and grabbing and releasing your fingertips. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, hips rise. Squeeze the glutes, hips up. And exhale, lower back down. One more glute bridge, hips high. If you have a wheel in your practice, so you want to try a wheel, hands towards your shoulders, and then pushing all the way up. I've got a back injury right now, so I'm not going to, but you can go for it. Here and then up, or one more glute bridge. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Knees pull into chest. Happy baby. Open up that pelvic floor. Allow all the muscles of the groin and hips to release. Nice heavy breaths. Maybe shake it side to side. Allow one leg to straighten and the other one to bend. Give yourself a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of freedom and playfulness here. Just kind of rock back and forth. Maybe even both legs into a wide straddle. Good. From here, both legs reach out to the ceiling. Arms can reach up towards the toes, giving yourself a little bit of an inversion, allowing blood to flow back to the midline. If this is okay and you want a little bit more, popping the hips up to the ceiling for a shoulder stand. Holding here for a few breaths. Good. Exhale, lowering all the way back down to plow. Legs overhead, tailbone reaching nice and high. Hands can interlace behind the low back or stay supported. Knees can also bend by the ears. A few more deep breaths. And then exhale, release yourself all the way back down. Spinal twist, bring the right knee into the chest, left leg long, reaching the right leg over into a twist. Arms reach out to a goalpost or a wide T, gazing over the fingertips. Inhale back through center. And then exhale, switching out the legs. Left knee pulls in and rotates over to the opposite side. Big gaze towards the left fingers. Inhale back through center. Good. Go ahead and shake it out. Get any last minute jiggles out of your body. Setting up for your final resting posture of Shavasana. Legs long, fingers reach down by your side. Deep inhale and exhale, release. I'll leave you in this posture. Take a few moments to take rest. For every hour of practice, you should have about 5 minutes of rest, even though we just did 20 minutes here today. Try to take a few moments to reflect inward, maybe do a little body scan, starting at your toes, working your way up through the legs, through the hips, up through the midline, through the heart, to the head, and then release everything. A few moments of stillness can make your day. So please take a few for yourself. Nice, deep, conscious breaths. I'll see you next time. Thank you.